Hey guys, Greg here. This is a contest for Mazzy, all about San Francisco. Congratulations, Mazzy, on 3,000 subscribers and one of my favorite channels. I've won 2 of Mazzy's contests already, and anytime Mazzy talks about San Francisco, I honor him by wearing an LA Dodgers cap. Go Dodgers. So let's see if I can cram everything I know about San Francisco into 5 minutes. Highly unlikely. I've won twice, so if I go over, too bad. And I am going to be honoring Sonny Rollins because his 90th birthday is coming up. Look for my other video and videos on Sonny Rollins. So what are we talking about? I wrote this down and I forgot what I was talking about. Here it is. Found my notes. Album from San Francisco. San Francisco used to have a great jazz club called the Black Hawk. And I've got a couple of records from there. I've got Cal Jader, but I'm going to show you Miles Davis at the Black Hawk Club in San Francisco, live on a Friday night, Volume 1. Great photo. 2 photos that were montaged together there. 1961 recording. Who's on here? I can't really read it. Print is too small, but this is an old copy. Miles Davis. One of my favorite artists of all time, as you know. One of my favorite movies from San Francisco. Is this about a movie or a record? Bullet. Steve McQueen driving like a maniac in the Mustang all throughout the streets of San Francisco. This is a jazzy version by Wynton Felder, the sax player. And really, he just does the Bullet song and a bunch of other popular tunes of the day, but that's kind of cool. A record about the movie, about San Francisco, and it's jazz. Okay, what else do we got? Film. Oh, I was going to talk about the Birdman of Alcatraz, which we just saw on TV last week. And Alcatraz, the prison sitting out in San Francisco Bay, and one of the prisoners, Thomas Stroud, I think his name, spent decades in solitary confinement and became an ornithologist, and he grabbed some canaries off the ledge and nursed them to health and wrote a bunch of books. Anyway, go watch that movie, The Birdman of Alcatraz. It's about one small part of San Francisco, Alcatraz. Not so much the city of San Francisco itself, but that made an impression on us since we just saw it the other day. A book about San Francisco that just came out, I've been hearing a lot about. I've heard the author being interviewed a few times. It's called, well, the author, this came out in 2019. The author is Tom O'Neill. It's called Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s. So Charles Manson, as you know, right down the street here in Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley. But actually, before he came here and did his heinous murders, he was on parole and he went to San Francisco illegally. Officers shouldn't have let him do that, but up in the Haight-Ashbury, there was a free clinic, a free medical clinic, and Charles Manson was visiting that clinic on a regular basis, like weekly. And the guy from the CIA who was running the MK Ultra mind control LSD program was running that clinic. So Tom O'Neill cannot exactly put the 2 of those things together, but the circumstantial evidence is there that Charles Manson was an operative with the CIA and a mind control, and the LSD was put in San Francisco by the CIA to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Later in the book, he definitively showed that Vince Bugliosi was not such a sharp guy, that he railroaded Manson. Not saying Manson didn't do the crime, but fascinating book, Chaos, Charles Manson, CIA. The first part of the book is about San Francisco, Haight-Ashbury. But a lot of it obviously takes place in Los Angeles too. What else? Book. Artist. Artist. Book. Look at that cover. I don't have the... This is a photography, I guess you could call it a monograph. It's called To a Cabin, featuring... I'm going to stand up so you can see this. Dorothea Lang and Margaretta Mitchell. 2 people known to be in San Francisco for a long time. Margaretta Mitchell is still alive, believe it or not, in her 80s. Dorothea Lang, you all know from her famous Depression era, Dust Bowl photography, Depression era the poor folks. But this book happens to be about the San Francisco, or the California coast, which is a place I love very much, up and down the California coast, especially south of San Francisco and the Monterey Peninsula, and absolutely one of my favorite places in the world. So, Dorothea Lang, photographer, associated with the city of San Francisco. And do I have an anecdote to go with San Francisco? I thought I did, and I forgot it. Someone I know just moved up there, and San Francisco apparently has a little bit of a problem with defecation all over the place because of, it's actually not funny, but this lady I know commutes and has to transfer from whatever to the bus to the BART, whatever. She says she loves it when it smells like bleach because she knows that the city came out and sprayed bleach everywhere and cleaned up the defecation and urine that she's has to walk over to get to her job every day. That's a pretty horrible anecdote, but that just popped in my mind because a friend of mine just moved there, and I haven't been up to San Francisco in a few years, so that's a more recent anecdote. Mazzy, congratulations. 3,000 subs. You deserve more than that. You are one of the leaders, the spiritual leaders and elders of the vinyl community, and I'm always amazed at the great records you have. And I'm rushing through this to try to fit it in 5.5 minutes. It's kind of 5 minutes in dog ears, so it's close enough. You want to disqualify me? Try it. Just try it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. How do you turn this thing off? Anybody know? I don't know how to turn this